Welcome in. Welcome to your practice this morning. From a comfortable seat, allow yourself to soften into your body. And you might even begin to let go of the effort it takes to hold yourself upright. Allow your shoulders to drop down. Maybe your chin starts to drop down slightly, giving yourself permission to slouch, to be heavy, to be soft. And as you let this heaviness sink in, notice what happens to your breath. Notice where your breath starts to land in your body. And without changing anything or passing judgment, simply stay here for the next 2 rounds of breath. And bring your awareness into your sits bones. And the next time you inhale, pull your inhale all the way up from the base of your spine. And as if your inhale can move through each and every vertebrae, lifting your torso tall, lift your sternum tall, crown starts to lift towards the ceiling. Your shoulders might even pull up towards your ears for a moment. And as you exhale, keep the length you created. However, allow your shoulders to rest down, find a little bit more space in your neck. And then rock yourself forward and back side to side. Find center in this new space. Find a slight engagement, a slight effort as you draw your navel in and up to engage your low abdominal. And then take a deep breath in from here. And exhale. And taking a moment to notice if there's any difference in the quality of your breath, where your breath is able to move, opposed to where we were earlier from that concave kind of forward slouching position. And so taking this slight lift, this slight elevation of your crown of your head towards the ceiling or towards the sky can really begin to open up through your breath, open up through your body. And so today we'll explore this space of what does it mean to open up, even in spaces of challenge, even in spaces where we might feel rather confined and there's no space to open up into. So when you're in that space, how do you still find expansion? How do you still find length? How do you still keep reaching forward and up and forward and back and forward and down? However, always reaching forward, always reaching up to something new. Take one more deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, let your lips part, exhale with a sigh. Once more here, inhale fully. And exhale. Inhale, sweep both of your arms all the way up and overhead. Palms connect, you can shift your gaze up. As you exhale, bring your hands back down towards your heart center. Twice more, starting to find some mobility in your shoulders. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, sweep it up. This time as you exhale, bend into opposite elbows, press your sits bones down, lift your elbows up and back, lift up through your sternum and your heart. Take a deep inhale. And stay here on your exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach both of your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Right arm reaches up straight to the ceiling. Press down into your bottom hand, lift up towards your top hand, and then bend your elbow, bring your hand to the back of your head. Press your head back into your hand slightly, so you're slightly leaning back. Continue to press into your bottom hand and think of rotating your ribs up and back. Stay here for a breath in. And out. Inhale, re-extend your top right arm, pull yourself all the way up to a T, expand from fingertip to fingertip. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm reaches straight up towards the ceiling first. Bend into your elbow, hand behind your head, and then head into your hand. So there's a pressing back and a rotation up. Another breath in. And out. Inhale your left arm straight to the sky, reach yourself out to a T once more, fingertip to fingertip. And as you exhale, start to curve in, bend into your elbows like you're squeezing a big beach ball, a tree, anything you want to hug here. And then inhale, reach your arms up and back, slight lift of your torso. Twice more, exhale, round through your back, pull your arms forward. Inhale to expand out. Last one, exhale, find the round, drop your chin down to your chest. And inhale, reach up as you reach out. Release your hands down to the ground, transition onto hands and knees, preparing for tabletop. Always the option to pad up under your knees here with a blanket or a towel, anything for support. Once you find the stability of your tabletop, really press the tops of your feet down, press your palms down, and start to take some circles. And so you can move to the left or the right, whichever side you'd like to start with, making some big circles, starting to move into your wrist joints a bit. And then go ahead, reverse your direction, shifting from the pinky edge side of one hand over to the pinky edge side of the other hand. And begin to make your way back towards center for your neutral tabletop. Walk your right hand out just enough so you can slide your left arm underneath, come down onto the left side of your head onto the floor or a block. You can bring your right hand underneath your shoulder, reach it all the way forward, or if it feels appropriate this early in your practice, take your right hand up towards the ceiling, flip your palm, and either bring your hand to your low back sacrum or start to find some sort of connection onto that left hip or left thigh. And breathe. Release the bind if you have it. Send your right arm up. Exhale, bring your right hand back underneath your shoulder. Press your palm down and unravel your left arm so it's parallel to the ground. And then drop down into your right shoulder. So we're kind of taking a drop into that shoulder joint and then press into the floor to press out of it. Twice more, drop yourself down. Press it back up. Last one, little drop down. Press down, come up out of the joint, engage your core to start to lift that left arm up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your left hand back down to the ground, stack your right hand back under your shoulder, and take it an inhale for your cow. Exhale, press into cat. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale to take the drop, extension from crown to tail. And then exhale, pull everything in as you find a nice round. Bring it back to center, walk your left hand out slightly enough to bring your right arm underneath. So now you're coming down onto the right side of your head, either onto a block or the floor. Left hand can stack underneath your elbow. You can take your left hand forward, or you might take your left hand up, flip your palm, and again, find your low sacrum, or somewhere onto your right hip or onto your right thigh. And 3 breaths. Gently release the bind, extend your top arm up, bring your left hand underneath your shoulder, press down, unravel, right arm parallels to the floor. We'll take 3 of those shoulder drops. So with control, drop down and then press up. Twice more, lower, extend. Last one, lower down, extend up. Keep yourself in this extended position. Really press into your left hand and start to take your right arm up to the sky. Full breath in. Exhale, right hand comes back down. Adjust your tabletop once more, and 3 rounds of cow and cat. Bring yourself back to neutral. Option to bring your hands a little bit turned out to the sides. You can play with that. Tuck your toes underneath. With your toes tucked, send your sits bones back a few pulses here. Open up into the soles of your feet. With your sits bones back, engage your core. So I'm pulling in and up slightly. Actively press into your palms. Start to let your knees hover off the ground here. So you're super low. And then by sending your sits bones back, you start to unravel into your down dog. Keep a bend into your knees. Think of sending your sits bones high, like I'm taking a little bit of a cow spine here. So lift your sits bones high as you press your heels toward the earth. Doesn't say you have to connect. We're just heading in that general direction, right? So there's an expansion from your heels up through your calves, your hamstrings, all the way up towards your hips. And then from your shoulders, you're pressing down to elbows, down to wrists, down to palms, into the earth. One more inhale. And exhale. Shift the gaze to the front of your mat. Slowly make your way all the way forward. We'll meet at Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep a bend into your knees. Draw your navel up. Hips are going to lift high. And then let your torso get nice and soft here. You can take a little shake, yes or no. Press down into your feet, slide your hands up your shins, sits bones back, crown forward, extension for your half lift. And as you exhale, again, bend into your knees, take that fold. Twice more, inhale, start to extend. Start to firm up your quads in the front to find some strength. And as you exhale, take it back down. One more inhale, find that extension. Exhale as you fold. And this time, press into your feet, arms take it wide all the way up and overhead. Palms connect, release down to your heart, Samastitihi. Full breath in. As you exhale, release your palms down, Tadasana, mountain pose. Shift your weight forward and back, find your center point. And again, press down as you pull your breath up through your torso, all the way up to the crown of your head, finding extension from feet to head. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend into your knees, drop it through midline, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms connect, step your right foot to the back of your mat, drop your knees, untuck your toes, grab opposite elbows, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release your hands down, step back to your high plank, shift forward, lower knees, chest, and chin. Press your hips down, unravel to baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Tuck your toes underneath, unravel yourself up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Shift your gaze forward, step your right foot forward, drop your left knee, press down, grab opposite elbows to rise up. Exhale, frame your front foot, step your back foot to the front, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Press down, arms up. This time, exhale, take it right back down. Inhale, half lift. Palms connect, left foot back. Drop your knee, opposite elbows, rise up. Exhale, frame your front foot, step back to plank. Shift and lower knees, chest and chin. Hips down, heart lifts. Forehead to your mat. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back as you unravel to down dog. And take 3 full breaths. Look to the front of your mat, step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee, opposite elbows connect, reach high. Exhale, frame your foot, step your back foot to meet your front, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Press down, take your arms high, grab onto opposite elbows, press down into both of your feet, take it up and over to the right. Keep pressing into your left foot. You might start to shift your gaze up. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale pulls you back to center. Press equally into both feet. Torso lifts up and over to the left. Think of pressing into your right foot. And again, you might start to shift your gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center. Press your palms together as you lift high. Release your hands down to your low back, so like you're in back pockets. Hug your elbows together. Press down, lift up. And then bend into your knees. Slide your hands down the backs of your legs as you fold to Uttanasana. Inhale, unravel, half lift. Place your hands, step back to plank, vinyasa of your choice. So you might drop your knees and lower down. Maybe you start to play with chaturanga. And then unravel to a back bend of your choice. From your back bend, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And go ahead, exhale with a sigh. Slight bend into your right knee. Inhale your left leg high. Toes press down. Think of extending up through your heel. Shift yourself forward to a high plank. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Inhale, re-extend high. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands. Ground your right heel. Press down, rise up, warrior 2. Bring your hands to your heart. Turn your torso so you're stacking up shoulders and hips. So you have this nice rectangular shape with your upper body. Hook your thumbs, press your thumbs forward and then up. Really drop down into that front knee. Still engaging your back leg for support. And I'm pulling my thumbs as if I could pull my thumbs apart. So there's a stability there, there's a strength there as I reach up. Same time I'm grounding down with the strength of my lower body. One more inhale. Exhale, release the thumbs, arms reach high and wide. Warrior 2. Full breath in. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm is going to reach straight up. And then like we did in those shoulder drops, notice if you drop into that front shoulder, press into your thigh to come up, find some length in your neck, bend into your top elbow, hand to head to hand, press it back a little bit. Full breath in. And out. Stay steady in your legs. One more inhale. Exhale. Re-extend your top arm, flip your palm, reach it all the way forward towards the front corner of your room. Shift your gaze down, take a big sweep, all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat, hands to blocks of the floor. Press your sits bones back. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders. So you're taking a little length here. And then start to fold yourself down. You can walk your hands to line up with your toes. Maybe you reach out and find a bind with your first 2 fingers onto your big toes. And breathe. Walk your hands back under your shoulders, press down enough to find a little half lift. Start to pivot to the front of your mat. Step your front foot back to meet your back foot, high plank. Shift forward and vinyasa of your choice. Full breath in once you find down dog. And down. Slight bend into your left knee, right leg will reach high. Keep your toes down, keep pressing your heel back. Find that extension, and as you exhale, shift forward to plank. Draw your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, re-extend, right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Ground your back heel, press down, rise up, warrior two. Hands to heart, so you're gonna think of torso, finding that nice structure, palms together, and then drop into your legs. So keeping your knee more or less over your ankle, you wanna make sure that it's not going past. And also notice if the knee is knocking way in, you can think of drawing out a little bit to start to find engagement. Lock into your thumbs, press it forward and up. Reach up with your thumbs, down with your hips. So find that extension in both directions. Exhale, release to warrior two. Full breath in. And soften through your shoulders on your breath out. Maintain the steadiness in your legs. Front forearm to thigh. Top arm reaches up. Again, notice if there's the drop, think of pressing up and out. Top arm bends, bring your hand to head to hand. Slight rotation as you start to look up. Full breath in. And down. One more inhale. Send your top arm up, flip your palm, then reach it forward towards the corner of your upper ceiling. So you've got this long line of energy from back heel, hip, shoulder, and then wrist. Take the big sweep once more, wide edge of your mat. All 10 toes forward, and this time reach your arms forward. You might tent up onto your fingertips. So it's like a hybrid wide leg forward fold down dog. Send your hips back, reach your fingers forward, and let your head drop. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. And exhale. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Start to pivot to the front of your mat. Step your front foot to meet the back, high plank. Shift forward, vinyasa of your choice. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. Exhale. Drop down onto hands and knees, crisscross and come back to a seat. So we're going to work with the hamstrings a little bit before we go up and add on to that next series. So bring your feet like a mini wide leg forward fold, yeah? Bring your right foot onto the inside line of your left leg. Bring your hands down onto the inside line as well. Inhale to find some length. As you exhale, start to fold yourself forward. Stay here and breathe for 3 breaths. Walk yourself back up to center. So here you go. If you have your strap or belt, go ahead, grab that and have that wrapped around the ball of your left foot. You can set both of the tails off so that's in place and ready to go. Bring your hands back down onto the inside line, lift up through your torso, and again, take that little fold forward and then start to walk yourself around. So now you're framing your extended leg. Option to stay right here and breathe. You might take your first two fingers, wrap them around your big toe, or this is a great place where you can also hang on to your strap. Left hand onto the strap, right arm will sweep all the way up and back. So you're finding a twist, and we've got some extension from fingertips to fingertips. Like we did in the extended side angle, flip your palm up to the ceiling, reach forward, up and around. You might start to bend into your elbow, or if you have the toe bind, you can start to bend into your elbow to come down. And then stay here and keep working the extension, or think of taking your top shoulder, lift it up and back. Re-extend your top arm, bend into your elbow, head to hand to head, and then find a little bit of that press. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. And exhale. Re-extend through your top arm, sweep it all the way forward and down. So once more, you're framing your extended leg. Start to walk yourself back towards center, and then walk your hands back up, lift up to a tall torso. Let's switch sides. So hug your left leg in, extend your right leg out. Again, it's like a mini wide leg forward fold. Go ahead, wrap your strap around since we've got it this time. We'll just leave it there for later. Shoulders stack over hips, find some extension, and first we'll take the fold for 3 breaths. Walk your hands back up to center. Take a moment to readjust, find a little bit more length in your torso. With that space, fold forward once more. From your fold, we're gonna head over to that extended leg. So there's a slight rotation. And again, you might grab onto your big toe here or grab onto your strap. Left arm will sweep all the way up and back. So there's extension from hand to hand. Flip your top hand towards the ceiling, reach up, around, and then forward. So again, you can start to bend into your elbow. You might walk your hand further down your strap. Re-extend your top arm to the ceiling, bend into your elbow, hand to the back of your head, press your head back into your hand. So that is going to be some opening in that top shoulder. You'll feel your top ribs start to spiral up and back. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. Exhale. Re-extend your top arm. Go ahead, unravel to frame your front foot. Walk your hands back towards center, and then walk your hands back so you can lift up through your torso. Bend into your extended leg. Transition back onto hands and knees for tabletop. Once you find the stability of your tabletop, take a couple rocks in one direction, a couple circles. Take a couple circles in the other direction. Bring yourself back to neutral, tuck your toes underneath, start to unravel your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Little cat spine in the upper back, send the hips high, send the heels low, press the palms down, extend the spine long. One more inhale. Exhale. All right, round 2. Inhale, take your left leg high. Exhale, roll forward to plank, knee towards chest. Inhale, extend up and back. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands, ground your heel, press down, rise up, warrior 2. Hands to heart, hook your thumbs, press forward and up. One breath in. Exhale, extend long. Front forearm to thigh, back arm reaches up and overhead. This time we're switching it up. So flip your front palm, your top palm, either bring it to your low back, or you might start to again reach for the inside line of your front thigh. So we kind of took this in the beginning. Again, check in with the shoulder, press down to lift, and start to spiral up and around. Option to shift your gaze up. And then notice what happened to this back right leg. Is it hanging out in space? Engage your back leg so your whole body's helping you out here with a twist. Take another breath in. And out. If your hand is on your thigh, unravel it, bring it to your low back. Shift your gaze down to the ground. We're gonna think of taking the hips back, right? So hips start to go back. That will start to straighten through your front leg. And then bring your hand down onto your shin, thigh, or a block. With your right hand onto your low back, think of sending your right shoulder up and back. And you might start to shift your gaze up, moving towards a half bind in your Trikonasana. Continue to reach the crown of your head forward as you send your hips back so you're finding that extension. One more inhale. Stay on the exhale. Gently unravel your right arm back up towards the ceiling. Feel that extension. And then take your arm up and overhead. One breath in. Shift your gaze down, bend into your front knee, swivel yourself to a wide leg forward fold. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bend into your elbows, drop your head low. Full breath in. And out. Press down into your palms, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, pivot to the front of your mat. Front foot steps to the back for your high plank. Option to flow through a vinyasa. Always the option to skip it and come straight to down dog. Deep breath in. Big old sigh. Inhale your right leg high. Roll forward to high plank, knee pulls in towards your chest. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Ground your back heel, press down, rise up, warrior two. Hands come to heart, torso squares up. Hook your thumbs, press forward and high. One breath in. Exhale, release to warrior two. Front forearm comes down to your thigh, top arm reaches up to the ceiling. This time flip your palm, the back of your palm comes to your low back, or you might reach it on the inside line of that front thigh. Again, notice what's happening with your shoulder. Press down. Think of spiraling your top shoulder up and back. Maybe you start to shift your gaze. Big breath in. And out. Two more. Last breath in. As you exhale, release the bind. If you have it, bring your hand to your low back. Shift your gaze down to the ground. Think of sending your hips back as you start to extend your right leg. Hand comes down onto your shin, a block, eye, or the floor. And as you continue to send your top shoulder up and back, you might start to shift your gaze up. Full breath in. Maintain the extension on your exhale. One more. Gently unravel your left arm up towards the ceiling. Flip your palm, bring it up and over so it's like an extended side angle arm. Shift your gaze down, bend your knees. Take a big sweep all the way to the front. Sits bones back, arms reach forward, tent up, and let your heart drop down. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, pivot to the front of your mat. Step your front foot to meet the back, high plank, and vinyasa of your choice. Full breath in. And out. Release down onto your knees, crisscross your ankles, come back to a seat. Okay, so this is kind of the flow. We'll go through a series, come down to the ground, work the legs, go back up and incorporate that. So from your seat, once more, go ahead, grab your strap. Bring your strap about shoulder width apart. And then really think of pulling the strap apart. Bring your arms up and overhead. Notice what happens with the rib cage. Think of drawing the ribs in, knitting your ribs in. And then bring your arms back down. Take your arms much wider. You'll see where we're going in a second. So arms are going to be much wider than they were. And this time, lift your arms up. Notice the different muscles that have to be activated here as you continue to pull your strap apart. And then you start to send your hands back, send them back. So you might take your arms even wider as you reach your arms all the way back. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale forward. We'll take that twice more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, send them all the way back. Inhale, reach your arms high. And exhale forward. Nice. Okay, last one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, send them back. Stay here this time for a full breath in. And out. Inhale your arms up. And exhale all the way down. Release your strap, set that to the side. Let your arms fall down by your sides. Take a couple rolls back. And take a couple rolls forward. Reverse your feet, so opposite foot on top or in front. Find your strap once more. Bring your strap into your left hand and take your left arm up over your head. Bend into your elbow, extend your right arm to the side, flip your thumb down, and then reach behind you for your strap. So I'll spin around so you can see. So you can grab onto the strap here, and even if you can connect your palms, for the time being, grab onto your strap. Think of pulling your top arm up as you pull your bottom arm down. So there's an opposition of forces. And then once you start to find that strength, notice if that causes you to round into your back. We've done a lot of this lifting up through your head. So think of lifting your head up and back slightly. That's going to give you some more length. And then you might find that you can take up some of the slack on your strap or your belt. Take another breath in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, very gently release the strap from your left hand. Allow it to come into your right hand. Bring both of your arms out by your sides as if you could reach your middle fingers down even further. Feel an extension of your arms for a breath at neutral. With a strap in your right hand, take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Bend into your elbow. Left arm extends long, flip your thumb down so there's that rotation of your shoulder, and then bend your arm here. Again, find your strap. So find those opposition of forces. Pull up, pull down, and then think of lifting your head up and back. Take up the slack if you just created some, and stay here for 2 more cycles of breath. And stay for 1 more. Go ahead and lift the crown up. Release the strap from your right hand. Unravel your arms. And then again, as if you could extend through your middle fingers down to the ground. Breath in. And out. Set your strap off to the side. Shift yourself back onto hands and knees. And then walk your knees a little bit closer. Come to sit yourself down in Virasana or Hero's Pose. You can sit up onto a blanket, a block here. Take your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, right hand in front, left arm behind. So you can take your hand onto the ground. I like to grab onto the inside line of my left foot, and that gives me a little more traction for the twist. Inhale your arms all the way back up. As you exhale, left hand in front, right arm reaches behind. Again, maybe you come to the ground, find that connection, and deepen into your twist. Bring your arms all the way up and overhead, palms connect, hands down to your heart. Shift yourself back towards table. And again, a couple circles in one direction. Couple circles in the other direction. Make your way back to center, tuck your toes underneath, unravel yourself up and back, downward facing dog. While you're in down dog, take a look around, know where your strap is in space. Have that in your mind's eye. Little bend into your right knee, inhale your left leg high, toes face down. Roll forward to plank, knee towards chest. So you're keeping a long torso. Inhale up and back. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands, ground your back heel, find your strap while you're down there, and then rise up, warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart, torso connects. So now we've got our strap with us. We've got warrior two legs. Take your left arm out, bring your left hand down to your thigh. Got your strap or your belt in your right hand. Reach that up to the ceiling, and you want to make sure it comes behind your back. So I'll show this from both sides. Lift your right arm up, flip your palm, and bring the back of your right hand to your low back sacrum. So now see, I've got the strap kind of hanging out on that back side. So you can stay here, as we did earlier, and work that twist. You might take your left hand, find your strap down there somewhere, so just like we did. Keep extending your torso. Now I've got both of my strap, I'm pulling down and pulling back, and start to turn your upper shoulder back. Keep extending from the crown of your head back. Really engage both of your legs here. Another breath in. And out. Shift your gaze down. Start to send your hips up and back. Keep reaching the crown of your head forward. And then you might re-extend into your bound Trikonasana. Full breath in. And out. Shift your gaze down. Little different this time. Rebend into your front knee. Release the strap with your right hand. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Hands to hips. Straighten your front leg. And this time, let's transition to the other side from standing. Right toes forward. Left toes slightly turn in. Bend down into your knee. Extend your right arm out long. Forearm to the thigh. Left arm will reach up. Flip your palm. Bring your hand to your low back. So again, option to stay here and work. This tail of the strap's in the back here. So this time you might take your right hand, find your strap, there it is. Pull down, pull up, start to rotate your torso. So I'm not crunching down, there's still an extension, and then start to rotate your torso from here. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. Exhale. Shift your gaze down. Think of sending your hips up and back. Yes. So now we're moving towards that bound Trikonasana. Full breath in. And out. One more inhale. Shift your gaze down, rebend your front knee. Slowly release. Reach yourself back up to warrior two, hands to hips. Straighten your front leg, all 10 toes to the wide edge of your mat. You can set your strap off to the side, and then turn your heels in, toes out. Hands slide down your thighs. Take a little bit of a sway from side to side in your goddess. Deep inhale. And let it go on the exhale. Make your way back to center, press down, sweep your arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands come down to your heart, bend into your knees, turn your back foot in, deep bend to step all the way forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Breath in. And down. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, release your hands to your low back, press down, rise up. And then take a generous bend into your knees as you fold yourself all the way down. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Sweep your right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Roll forward to plank, right knee towards chest. Inhale, up and back. Release your right foot back down to the ground. Come to hands and knees, and either knees wide or knees beneath you. Untuck your toes, release yourself down to child's pose. And breathe. And press down into your palms. Walk your right hand in a little bit, just enough so you can take your left arm underneath. So we'll take that thread the needle from child's pose. Unravel, bring your left hand forward, and then take your right arm underneath. And release down for 3 breaths. Release the bind, both arms reach long and forward, let your forehead melt down, 1 more cycle in. Exhale everything out with a sigh. Press down into your palms, shift yourself back up to table, and then sweep your feet all the way around so you can come to a seat. I want to give a couple options before we close into Shavasana. So if you do have a block, you can grab that and bring that nearby. Everyone can take a bend into your knees, come all the way down onto your back. And once you arrive, take a moment to settle in. We just use a lot of leg stability. We use a lot of rotation and mobility in the shoulders. So take a moment to let your shoulders soften, your hips soften. You might even walk your feet about as wide as your mat, let your knees knock in towards one another. See if that brings a feeling of openness in your low back. And if you're in this space and you're just like, I'm good, I'm not getting up, just stay here, stay right here and breathe. This is a great place to be. If you have a block, you can walk your feet back to about hip width distance. And I'm going to recommend you do this on the very lowest setting. So press your feet down just enough to lift your hips and bring your low back to your block. So you might get to this position and be like, I'm good, I'm going to stay here. Stay here and breathe. If it feels appropriate, you can explore extending 1 leg long. And then if it feels appropriate, you might extend 2 legs long. If you get there and 2 legs out long causes more sensation than you're looking for, gently engage your abdominals and you can bring 1 knee in. Take about 3 to 4 breaths and then switch your legs. So that's the first variation if you're on a block. If you don't have a block, you can grab onto the edges of your mat, draw your shoulders in towards one another, press into your feet, and start to lift your hips up gently. If you're taking this variation, please keep the gaze of your eyes up towards the ceiling. You can stay here for about 5 or 6 breaths, Or if it feels better to come down and release and then come back into the shape, by all means, take that variation as well. So really allowing yourself to find a shape or shapes that work for your body, giving a little bit of length here in the front body and the front hips. And wherever you are, slowly make your way all the way back down onto your back. If you have a block underneath you, lift your hips just enough to set your block off to the side once more. And let's all take our feet a little bit further forward, maybe a little bit wider. Either cactus your arms out or extend your arms into a T and start to take some windshield wipers here. So you can drop your knees from one side to the other. If you get into a space where you're like, ooh, I need to stay there, go ahead, stay there and breathe. And so you can start to explore any last nooks and crannies that need some attention. And let your knees fall over to the right and stay here and breathe. You might keep your arms in a cactus, or if you want to extend your arms long towards the back of your mat. And you feel that extension down your left side body, your left side ribs. And when you're ready, start to draw one knee up and then the other. Take a moment at neutral. And slowly take both of your knees over to the left. Arms can stay extended, or you can take them back to a T or into a cactus shape. And take both of your knees back up towards center. Square off through your hips. Release your arms all the way down by your sides. Take any last movement here that you would like. So you might draw your knees into your chest. You could do legs up the wall. If going straight to Shavasana makes the most sense, then head in that direction. So it might look more like a shape. It might look like you're rolling around on the floor, and that's fine too. So find any shape or shapes that are appropriate for you prior to finding Shavasana. And then once you feel prepared, you can extend both of your legs out long, maybe create a little more space underneath your shoulders. Bring your palms to face up, or maybe they connect somewhere onto your torso. And once more together, take a deep inhale, pull your breath up from the very base of your body all the way up to the crown of your head. Hold your breath in at the top for just a moment to feel the fullness, the capacity of your body, the capacity of your breath. And then as you exhale, let everything out with a sigh. Twice more, inhale fully. Expand yourself in all directions, and then at the peak of your fullness, stay here. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Hold. And exhale. And soften into your breath, your natural pattern. And soften into your body, into your mat. And allow yourself to integrate the shapes, integrate your practice. And give yourself time to move out of the effort and into the ease and the grace of rest. Bring your awareness and your attention back into your breath. And as you begin to notice the deepening of your inhales and exhales, also notice the expansion of your ribs. As you inhale, expanding outward. And as you exhale, coming home, bringing everything back towards center. One more conscious breath in here. And exhale everything out. Find soft movements into your body to slowly reawaken into your environment. And gently begin to draw your knees once more in as you bring the soles of your feet to the floor. And eventually roll over to one side or the other. Press down in order to rise up to a comfortable seat. And from your seat, find a soft gaze or let your eyes close if that feels safe, and bring your hands towards your heart center. And thank you for taking the time to explore your practice, to purposefully place yourself in challenging positions so that you can look in new directions, find new ways of shifting, moving, to still find expansiveness, even when faced with that challenge. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of the community. Namaste. Thank you very much.